Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Two of Arrows in Injustice. And when I was thinking about this card today, it was more or less a reminder not to partake in the gossip, not to partake in, the office politics, not to partake in any of that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really make a difference. All right. What he said, she said, what they did, it doesn't really make a difference, because you're there to work. You're there to, get a project done. You're there to, talk to your significant other about what's going on. But, it's the false judgments, the ignorance, the arrogance that skew the scales of justice. And, here the feather equals the coins. And, this is really, to me, twos are all about decision making. All right, we had the two of wands, two of bows here, not too long ago, and that's a decision. And with this gal here, knowing that the scales are unbalanced, she's got the arrows in her hand. Okay, she's blindfolded. She's not looking at what's out there. She's using her other senses. She's using her intuition. She's using her her spirit guides to help her make the decision that's out there. She doesn't want to be swayed by what she can see. Okay, and she's holding the arrows across from her, so she's closed off to anybody that's coming at her, closed off at whatever may be out there that she doesn't want to be a part of. So what she's doing is she's disseminating the information at hand, from significant other, dissemination from, people at work, reading between the lines before she, decides to use those arrows. She's got her foot on a bow, and it's just a matter of her just, taking off that blindfold, picking up the bow, and shoot one of those arrows where she wants to be. But you can listen to the fear-based messages, you can listen to the gossip, and that's all low vibrational energy. And it doesn't relate to yesterday's card of the Eight of Bows and Hearthfire. Here you've got like-minded people around you on your spiritual path. All right? You've got people that believe the way you do. And if somebody starts talking crap about what's going on in your life, that just shows you that they're not like-minded as you. That shows you that they're jealous of you. All right? And you don't have to, you don't have to sit there and listen to it. You can just say, you know what? I'm done. You know what? I thought we were, you don't even have to tell them that. I thought we were friends. But, if you want to go this route and backstab me and start spreading rumors because I'm not within the in crowd, so be it. I'd rather be in my crowd than be in the in crowd. And, when you can seek out the facts of what's going on and face that truth, you can take that blindfold off. You know who you are spiritually. You know who you are walking down that path, right? And the truth is out there. You know what that truth is about yourself, right? You don't need other people out there to, try to, stir up the pot or anything like that. It's not worth it. Don't get involved in it, okay? Because what they're trying to do is they see that you're happy, right? They see that you're having a good time. You've got the Knight of, the King of Vessels and the Knight of Arrows still down here. So, that could be part of that swift decision that you're making, as you're sitting in that Hearthfire moment. And there might be some that are not like-minded that are in that Hearthfire moment, and then they're going to go back and tell Ma and Pa about, D was at the party and he wasn't being very spiritual, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? You can still be spiritual and be at a party. Okay? You can still be yourself and be at a party. You can still, do the things that you want to do and be at a party and still be spiritual, right? You don't have to partake in the flamboyance of what that party is. Or, partake in a breakfast at work or something like that. You can show up. You can be respectful, which that card is still down here. The Nine of Bows, respectful. You can show up to that gathering and be respectful of the people there. Be grateful, for what's going on. And if you walk away and you hear somebody talking back, behind your back or something like that, keep walking. It's not worth it. It's not worth to turn around and maybe you hear a snippet, and that snippet is so far from the truth. And you know what that truth is. You know what the facts are, right? So, the knowledgeable, the wise people, they seek out questions. They seek out and test those false messages, whether it's in a workplace, whether it's in a social setting, whether it's in a relationship. Okay? It reminds me of a scene from the Game of Thrones where the little dude, was the king's hand for a little bit. And he gave out 3 messages to 3 different people. All different, and they were all different messages. And 2 out of the 3 came back to him. And he knew who, it was all about the same subject. And he knew who they were. He knew who he could trust and who he couldn't trust. All right, and that's the same thing here. You seek out the information. You talk to the right people, right? If you got to go over your boss's head, go over it. Just have a general conversation with it, especially if you're in an open door situation. You see something going on with your significant other, just ask. Just ask them, hey, what's going on here, right? And if they come out and say, well, this, that, and the other thing, and okay, well, you believe them. Right? Now, if you're out and about and you see something different, that's a different story. You know what the truth is because you saw it. You didn't have that blindfold on, right? So, the best defense against injustice is seek out the truth. Seek out the truth, understand it, discern it, ask the questions, and then make that decision. Make the decision how you want to move forward. So that's today's card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, that 2 of Arrows and Injustice. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, and give me a thumbs up. This is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.